Well, here we are, back down at the bottom of the garden. Hopefully you can see I've been making a little bit of progress while you've been away. So a bit of context. A couple of weeks ago I put the video out about starting to transform this sort of area around here. We've got the greenhouse over there, which you probably just about can't see off camera. Put these 2 new raised beds in the last time. I only got that one filled, and we've got the onions planted out in there, those little snowball onion sets that we had on the go that we've got in there. This bed here has now been filled up, it's been topped up. I've got a cover on it at the moment, we'll get that off and get it planted up. We've got some shallots, we've got some lettuce, we've got some spinach, and we've got some spring onions I think we're going to pop in there. Get that done, we'll get them all set up with the canes and covers and stuff like that. And you might be able to notice it's been jet washed all the way over here. Honestly, you wouldn't believe, I don't know how well it's shown up on the camera, you wouldn't believe the difference in this area here. It is so much brighter. It was filthy. I did this bit here last week, the week before, and I did just this bit here yesterday, and I didn't even know most of these stones were sort of yellowy colour underneath. Honestly, they were that dirty. It looks a million times better than it did, and it's actually turning into quite a nice little area down here. So on the arbour, there's a big sort of vine that grows over here that it's not really in bloom yet. There's little buds and things on it, but again, when they sort of spring into life throughout the summer, this will look lovely. This little bit down here is going to look fantastic. Anyway, that's not for today though. You might notice, you might just be able to see it. We've got some big old bags of gravel down here as well, and that's to kind of finish off this area around here. So in and around the beds, I want it to look nice and neat and tidy. It's still prone to weeds and things like that. So the weed fabric that's covering those beds there, that's actually going to be a dual purpose. So it's going to make a little track in and around these raised beds there, just get it nice and tidied up, get the fabric down, get the gravel down, get it looking neat and tidy. The one thing I still haven't quite decided on yet is what we're going to do down here. So behind you, all the way down to the shed, what I'm going to do in terms of a path, or what I'm going to do with this area over here. This area is a bit of a mess. There's problems with weeds. Like I say, I want to get the weed fabric down there. We get dandelions, we get willow herb, and worst of all, let me just pick some of this and come and show you it. This here is called ground elder, and it is rife round here. It is horrible. It is rhizomus, I think you say it, and it spreads under the ground, the roots. If you leave any tiny little bit of root, anything like that, it just spreads like wildfire. It is awesome. I have been battling against this for 3 years now. This area is particularly bad for it. The garden over there, it's in all the mature beds over there, which is a pain in the butt because I would just clear it all out otherwise, but because it's in and about all the mature plants, it makes it really difficult to manage and get rid of. Again, if it just spread by flowering, it would be fine because I could get it before it flowers, but it doesn't. It spreads rhizomously as well. If that's how you pronounce it, maybe that's how you pronounce it or not, but you get the idea of how it spreads under the ground. All these sort of weeds that you see here in this area, they'll all be joined with a network of roots underneath the ground. I will keep digging them, I will keep getting rid of them, I'll keep trying different ways to get rid of them. But anyway, let's stop whinging about the weeds. Let's get on with tidying up this area, sorting it out, and we'll see just how it looks at the end when everything's done, planted up, gravel, all that sort of stuff, and we'll see how we're getting on. So just before we get on something a little bit more interesting, shall we say, over there, I just wanted to show you one thing that I've been doing with this. And this, don't get me wrong, this is the proverbial sledgehammer to crack a nut. So when you are cutting this black plastic weed fabric, and don't get me wrong, this is really effective, it's really good, it's porous, so that's the water through, and it keeps the weeds down, it stops them coming through. But when you cut it, because of the way it's constructed, it all sort of frays on the edges, and when the frays come along, big stringy long bits of plastic come out, and you will find them tangled up and going everywhere. So one top tip is cauterize the edges of your weed fabric, and you can sort of see I've been all the way along the side of this, both sides where it's been cut, with the weed burner. Now, like I say, the weed burner here, which all this stuff, I'll pop a link down below in the description. It's most of it's from Amazon. Go and have a look, you can see what it's like. It is a sledgehammer to crack a nut. It's a bit of a big tool for doing the job. It's what I had to hand. It's done it. It's good. I mean, if you tell you what's ideal, you know those little kitchen blow torches that were all the rage, all sort of trendy a few years ago? They're brilliant for doing this sort of job. They're just the right size, just the right heat, easy to control. it'll get it done. Because if you go, I have this on the lowest setting possible. If you go a bit wild, a bit out of place, you will easily burn through this and create a big old mess. And that's just a waste of plastic. I don't like using plastic as it is, but you know, it does the job. Just be careful with it. It's worth doing. Or use a lighter. If you've got a lighter, go along with a lighter. It'll do the job much more easier than one of these things. But you know, boys and their toys and all that. Anyway, I'm going to get this last bit down there. We'll get over here and we'll get on with some more stuff. So I'm making some decent progress, shall we say. We've got some gravel down in the bits where I can put it just at the moment. Now we've got the different things here to plant out in here. It's going to be a little bit of a mixed bed. I've got some spring onions here. Those of you who've been watching the channel for a while will be familiar with these from the greenhouse, and to be honest, they're not far off being ready. I mean, this single one here there is pretty fat, and that one there, some of them are a little bit smaller, can do with a little bit of more time, but we'll see. We've also got some shallots here. This is a variety called Meunier, according to the packet there, which is a French banana shallot. And we've got some different lettuces here and a little bit of spinach. We've got some little gem. We've got some, I think they might be icebergs. Now we've just got some, you know, bog standard spinach there to sort of put out. I was thinking about how I'm going to sort of configure this bed, and I'm a bit worried that the slugs and the snails are obviously of main concern. I'll put a net over it, like I've done with the one over here, the one that's got the snowball onions in it. We'll get a net put over it like that, look like that. But I'm thinking I might make a sort of barrier around the outside of the alliums, so the spring onions, that won't be in too long, but I'll replace some of them. I've got the ones in the greenhouse growing away there. I'll replace them with the other ones, and maybe it's the shallots, and then we'll put a grid of lettuce in the middle. So that's my current plan for what we're going to do. So let's have a look. I've no idea what the roots are going to look like in the bottom of these pots. There you go. So you can see it's been in there. These spring onions, like I say, they're quite big at the minute. It was a little bit of an experiment. They've been like this all over the winter in the greenhouse. So it was a bit sort of like, we'll just plant them before the winter. We'll sort of see what they do. If they grow, they grow. If they don't grow, well, we've not really lost anything. I mean, that one, like I say, that one there, it's nearly ready-ish. What I'd probably like to do is perhaps just get them to put a little bit more weight on, I think, going forward. Just fatten them up a little bit, just so they're looking a bit more like the ones you'd sort of get out of a shop there. So we'll pop them in. So I think this is going to be the configuration, I think, here. So we'll get so we'll put the spring onions, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe let me just get one of the shallots out here, and we'll show you this. So obviously the shallots are quite small at the moment. I did think about starting them off in the greenhouse, and I thought, nah, not be too long before I've got them in. So I've just left them the sets like that. But obviously the way shallots grow, this is going to multiply into lots of them, so it'll get quite big. So I want to give them a bit of space. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so if we do 8, have we got 8? Let me have a count in the bag. 1, 2, I think we might have 8. So we'll try and do, where we've got the spring onion cross, so to speak, we'll do a bit of a, we'll put one shallot there like that, and then if we get another one out of the bag, we'll put that there like that, and that gives us enough room, plenty of room for the shallots there to get on, get grown, gives the spring onion some space, and then I think we'll just try and make a bit of a grid with the lettuce, the spinach. That's one type of lettuce, 2 types of lettuce, and the spinach, and it's blown all over the place. It's got a bit windy since I last did the gravel and whatnot, so the wind's probably picked up. But I'll finish planting all this up, and I'll bring you back, and we'll see how all this is looking. So hopefully you can see over my shoulder, we've made some good progress. Not quite as much as I would like to have made, but it's progress nonetheless. And let me just bring you over here and show you how we've gotten on over here. So like I say, the gravel's on the bits we want. Still not sure what's going to happen with the path along here, which is why there's just a bit of weed fabric, some extra bags of gravel sort of holding it down. This is the bed we've just planted out. You can see over there I've got a couple of spare lettuces and spinach. I could have squashed them in here, but I was just being a little bit generous with the space. Everything looks a little bit wilted and floppy and sort of at the moment, but it'll pick up. It's all been watered in. Give it a day or two, and that will look absolutely smashing. I haven't put a cover on it, so we'll have a cover on it. It'll look identical to that one over there. But I thought, no, you know what? leave the cover off so you can see what it is. A bit difficult sort of seeing through the cover then. We'll try that over here. You can see the snowball onions. They're doing well in there. They did look a bit squashed earlier on, but they're looking nice now that we've raised the cover sort of right up. And I don't know if you can quite see it there. There's loads of like little mushrooms sort of grown there, and that's a common problem with the peat-free compost when there's bits of wood in it and stuff. It's quite a healthy sign, to be honest, that the mushrooms are there, but I am going to take them out slowly but surely, and we'll get rid of them. But as to what's going to happen with this bit behind us, I still don't know yet. I do have a bit of an idea. What I would like to do is perhaps, and this is probably going to go down like a lead balloon in the comments with people, is I'm thinking about artificial turf. Now, there's a reason for that. Bear with me, there's a reason. Well, two reasons. One, it's easy to manage. Like I say, the main problem in this space down here is these humongous trees down here that are ginormous. Come the autumn sort of time, end of summer, start of autumn, they will shed leaves all over here, and it is a right mess, and it's a pain to scoop them up and do something with them. I do make leaf mould out of them, but clearing them up before they come all wet and clogged up and stuck is a pain. Artificial grass. Second thing is, it becomes a usable space then. If it's got the artificial grass down, it's dead easy to do stuff with it. We can use it for practicing different sports, practice a bit of hockey on it, and practice my putting on it for the golf. I know it's not the best for the environment, but you know, I don't particularly show the main part of the garden, but don't worry, I've got a huge bit of garden up there that's got a big lawn and plants and bushes and flowers and all sorts of stuff for all the wildlife to live in over there. But that's enough of that part of the garden. But anyway, just a quick update on what we've been getting on down here. I will keep you up to date with what I decide and what progress. There'll be another video that follows. This is probably part 3 to see how it goes along here, what we do with this space, but who knows how it will end up. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, folks.